What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Vontae the First, and I'm finally back again with another video, man. I know it's been a minute, man. I know it's been like 12 days since I last uploaded, but the reason why is because all the series that I covered obviously were on break, so I just didn't, react to nothing. I didn't upload anything. I could have started something new, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait until like Tokyo Revengers and maybe My Hero finish up, because both of those series are towards the end. So that's when I'll probably add more series to the channel. But you never know. My mind can change at any time, so it don't matter. But for Tokyo Revengers specifically, last chapter we just got more point of view of Mikey just going down memory lane. Last chapter we revisited when Shinshiro got killed, and just certain details got the whole situation reinforced for us. Like seeing Shinshiro, how he was so excited to give Mikey this bike for his birthday, like that. We didn't see that back when when Kazutora and Baji came in to try to steal it. We'd never seen that, so it makes it even more emotional, because just seeing how happy he was, and then something like that happens like shortly after, it's fucked up. And and then we so we got done with that, and then towards the end of the chapter we just started to see how everybody joined Tomon. And then for Mikey's sake, it was more so like, what does it mean to be strong, because that's something that he always kind of been challenged with since he was a child. Like, do I just need to just beat up people to be strong, be the best at fighting to be strong, or do I need to like have people around me? And it looks like that's something that he's starting to realize. Like, maybe the people that I have around me are the ones that can really make somebody strong, make their leader stronger. You know what I'm saying? You can always be stronger. A leader can always be stronger if they got people behind them, you feel me? And I guess that was kind of the message, but I don't know if he understands it like 100% or not, but I feel like that's something that he's going to start to really see. And then at the last page we seen Kisaki and Takemichi, and basically we're going to get to their little part in Mikey's point of view. And those two characters are really the reason why a lot of things changed in the series. And that's what Mikey said. He said these two pretty much changed my life, either for the better or for the worse, so I'm excited to get into this next chapter. This cover page looking fire. You got Mikey and Takemichi standing face to face. Let's get into this next chapter, man. Chapter 265 of Tokyo Revengers. Let's get it. All right. I had a brother 10 years older than me. He was reckless, not afraid to fight guys who were stronger than him. Wow, he sounds so cool. I look for things other than strength. Interesting. Okay. That's interesting that he's saying that he looks for other things. He looks for things other than strength, or maybe he was always looking. He always felt that, okay, I already acquired strength, and that's kind of what I was getting at in my the intro portion of the video. I was like, okay, maybe it's like he understands he's strong. He's like the strongest, whatever, right? But to have people around him and maybe have that kind of camaraderie like his brother did, maybe that's something that he was missing that could actually make him, just unique, and Takemichi fits that bill, because he's just like his brother, how he he fights against people that's way stronger than him. He could probably win, lose, and he gets people around him, and I like that aspect of it. And on that day, the guy who changed my life drastically was Kisaki Teita entered the stage. Yeah, exactly. Kisaki, and I love that we're getting Kisaki back into the story, because it was always pitched that him and Mikey were the two main antagonists of the series, and for most of the series, Kisaki was, and Mikey was as well too. So I always liked that aspect. It's not like it was just one singular main antagonist, but it was two of them. What I will say is that Kisaki is more villainous than Mikey is, but Mikey is, antagonist, 100%. I mean, he was villainous too at times, but like things happened to him that kind of, but Kisaki was just like that, you feel me? You got two different kinds of antagonists. One that's like, stuff happened to him that made him into that badass, antagonist, and the other one is just somebody that's just driven to just do evil shit, you feel me? But July 5th, 2005. Sorry for calling you out here, Mikey. I can bail Pachin out. I have a substitute that can take his place, and Otsunai promised to testify so long as I pay him enough money. I'll just need your green light, and then I'll make the move. Wow. And then we see how Baji heard the information. Because I don't know if I'm forgetting the detail, but I was always thinking, like, how the hell was Baji convinced that, like, Kisaki was up to no good, Like, he can't just think, oh, this new guy, like, because So now it's making more sense. See, that's another thing that we're getting that's adding more to what we already seen. Just like with Shinshiro being so excited to give Mikey the bike. I mean, obviously, but just us seeing that makes it even more emotional. And I really fuck with that aspect of it. July 26th, you want Kisaki to join Tomon? Yep, I'm against this. I got a feeling this guy has something up his sleeve. I'm against it as well. Yeah, everybody was against that shit. This isn't like you, Mikey. I'm with Mikey. Me too. I think he'd be important for Tomon. Okay, so half of them said yeah, half of them said nah. Mikey, don't let that guy Kisaki in. He can't be trusted. He's useful. In fact, he's able to get Pachin out. Is that your reason? If that's the case, then all the more reason not to agree with him joining. We didn't form this gang to play dirty like this. If you're going to do anything about Pachin, I'm leaving town. Mikey, are you sure this is what Pachin wants? Strength alone is not enough. Most of them were against it, August. First, they don't like you. I had a huge fight with Kenshin. So big that I thought it would split Tomon in half. Well, I was an old enemy, so I understand their resentment. But then this guy, Takemichi, managed to talk some sense into us. He's a huge dumbass. He ended up with shit on his head. Oh yeah, that moment when they was fighting in front of Takemichi's place. Kisaki, I've grown interested in you. The guys in Tomon are all nice people. They're so nice that I couldn't confide in them. How long? He just sitting there. Damn. So Kisaki was just like, I mean, like him and Takemichi are like Mikey's right hand, left hand man type shit. Like it's like the same things he did with Takemichi, chilling with him, talking to him, is the same things he did with Kisaki. And I think that's what it was. He was trying to find something other than strength within both of those two guys. You know what I'm saying? Kisaki is just somebody that like he's calculated. He can get things done. He's cunning. That's who he is. And Takemichi, on the other hand, is that he has that heart and he has that morale that gets people behind him, just like his big brother. So I like the dynamics between the two. It's pretty interesting. Let me see. What did he say? How long has this dark thing been in my heart? Dark thing. Sometimes that thing opens up and starts destroying everything on impulse. Kisaki, I want you to walk along with that part of me. Interesting. Guide me, Kisaki. Are you sure? You know I don't work the way you usually do, right? Yeah, I don't care. Strength alone isn't enough. What I need is darkness. That's what he thinks he needs? Nah, I think you're... See, the thing with Mikey, that dark impulse thing, is basically something that was created due to all the tragedy that he had in his life, essentially. I think that's just his response to all that. That's how he can cope with a lot of things. He was already a fighter when he was a kid, so like, what do you think is going to happen when somebody that fights all the time has tragedy to them? They're going to fight more and even worse, you know? They're going to lash out. They're going to wild out. So I do like that we're getting more emphasis on that dark impulse, and to see that he wanted Kisaki to be the one that could kind of guide that part of him, to kind of keep him not in check but kind of like at bay, so to keep him in a way where it's like, okay, I can use him to do this, do that, and the third, but also just make sure that he doesn't like do it for unnecessary reasons, I guess, because we've seen how things in the future got when Kisaki and Izuna was in his ear. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like fucking people up, killing people and stuff like that. But he didn't seem like he was unhinged necessarily. So, and that's what the original timeline was anyway. Like he was the one that, like I said, those two were the main suspects, the main antagonists, and the whole thing with Hina's death and all that. So, that's interesting. And then Takemichi changed all that. October 31st, I'm Tokyo Manjin Gang 3rd Division Captain Kisaki Teta. Our unit is responsible for protecting our captain. It's just as I thought. That Kazutora sure is insane. He made Baji join Valhalla only for him to get stabbed in the back. What do you think, Captain? Indeed, what is most important to me is darkness. And then the little dark impulse shit. The more I hold it in, the more the darkness overflows. I let myself go to kill Kazutora. And then Takemichi jumped in the way. Boom. And then Takemichi, Mikey cut. Standing strong in front of Mikey, who has fallen into darkness, is the man who changed his life. Boom. right? And I like this because it's making all of that arc, that what's it called, Bloody Halloween, right? It made the whole Bloody Halloween arc even better than what it was, you feel me? Because now, and I keep saying this, it's like we're getting a lot of emphasis on things, and it's reinforcing things that we've seen and making them even more profound and sharpened. And you know, the Dark Impulse thing, it's like the main gripe I had with it, and I don't really have too much of a gripe with it, but I still kind of like, yeah, and this is one thing that about the series that I don't necessarily like all the time, is the dialogue. The dialogue is a little too juvenile for me. Like, saying Dark Impulse so many times is just kind of corny in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have just said, I mean, there's times where he could just say darkness. Like, okay, the only way that the Dark Impulse thing and darkness in general can work is if this was a series that had like a lot of poetic, just, you know, poeticness in it, you know? Like, there's times where it had it, like with Hanma and Kisaki around the time when Kisaki died. I think there was a little bit of a little poetic aspect there. But when it comes to like Mikey and Old Dark Impulse, it's like, come on now, like, we get it already. You could just say something like, honestly, I'm just crazy. Like, I'm just very unhinged. You don't have to keep using that word, because I don't know, the more you use it, it makes it seem like it's some kind of like power or something, you know, and I don't really like how that sounds. But it's not a big deal to me, really. It used to be, but now it's just a little annoying to me. But you know, but I do like this though. Like, Kisaki, now we're understanding more of like why Mikey even likes Kisaki, because before we just thought like, okay, maybe he just thinks that Kisaki is like that, but like, why would he? We always thought like, why would he even have this much like you know, favorance in him? Like, it's Kisaki. Like, half of the boys even told you that they don't like him. The other half said that they're down with you though. But like, now it's starting to make a lot more sense. And damn, it's really interesting though, because like Baji's death from Kazutora and all this stuff, like, that's going to unhinge the darkness. And man, because it's like, the thing is that Mikey can use Kisaki, because Kisaki is just smart as hell and stuff. And I got a phone call, let me shut up. Anyway, Kisaki is like smart as hell and shit, right? So like, he would need somebody like him if he wants to like create this big gang that can, you know, be crazy, right? But also Kisaki needs Mikey to be this darkness type dude, so that he can give him the green light to do whatever the fuck you want. And to kind of just like, I think partnerships like with villains, like in a lot of stories, work that way, where like you sometimes need somebody that's just dark as hell, so you guys can really just like get the job done, you feel me? That's willing to do anything, or at least tell you to do anything and convince you. So their partnership kind of worked, right? Even though it was corrupting Mikey more, it was working though, in terms of like the grand scheme of the gang and whatnot. And then with Takemichi, obviously he needs help from Mikey in terms of the fighting aspect, because he was always getting his ass whooped. But also Mikey needed him to find that heart that he kind of lost when he was a child. So I like that dynamic. And it's interesting to see Kisaki in his light, because it don't make him like, it's almost as if it's starting to kind of show you that Kisaki isn't necessarily a bad guy per se, like in terms of how he was pitched early on. It's like they made it seem like he was just using everybody, but at the same time, it's kind of like Mikey gave him the okay to kind of just like almost be his, like, not mentor, but like just his guidance, you know, his advisor in a sense, because he said guide him because he got that darkness in him, so guide him. And I like that, because I know that a lot of people like Kisaki because he's evil, but I felt like there needed to be a little something. And I know earlier I said that, like, well, I like that he's just this evil dude, but at the same time, now as I started to think about it too, in the review portion, I'm thinking like, you know what, like, realistically speaking, it wouldn't really make sense for him to just do the stuff that he did off of just like jealousy and the little shit that we kind of thought he was doing it based off of. But like, now we're getting emphasis, and it's like, okay, it's like he got the okay to kind of just be this kind of guy. And I do respect that he took the opportunity and did what he had to do, you know? So that's interesting. Damn, I can't wait to see how this series ends. Like, I'm sure Mikey's gonna come around to everything, right? The conflict is gonna end in a certain way. I could see somebody else dying in this conflict, whether it's Sanzu or anybody else. I don't know who, but. And then I really want to know what the hell's up with this time leaping ability. Like, who else has it? And two, like how, I don't know, like how does it even, you know what I'm saying? Like, how does the time leap ability even like work? Like, how did it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's interesting though. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this video. You know, I had to make it a little long for y'all because, you know, I've been going for a while, so I let it be a little long. But it was a nice chapter. I'm intrigued to look at more of what's going to happen next. But, well, obviously the Mikey, and when he had stopped them from fighting, I mean, when Takemichi stopped Mikey from fighting, and then after that, we're probably going to get back to the present and then see what happens after that. But I like that we're getting this little Mikey POV. I feel like it's going to be done really well in the anime. And it just adds to this emptiness that we felt from his character for a while. It's like he was just doing shit for the sake of doing shit, but now he has like reasoning behind it. And he even acknowledges that he's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He acknowledges that aspect of him. So I like that he's acknowledging it rather than him just never acknowledging it and then we just beat him. Like, I wouldn't like that storytelling wise, but Tokyo Revengers is doing this thing right now. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to make a comeback. And I really wanted that a lot. So yeah, but that's all I got for this video. So I hope you guys have a good one. Stay tuned. Later on today, we're going to have that One Piece. Hopefully I think I will be able to do it today. So we got that One Piece that's going to be coming out. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.